All right, today we are going to do Microsoft Excel Independent Project 5-4. This project does come with a resource file, so we want to grab that at the beginning. It's just an image here. And then we want to grab our start file. Once our start file is downloaded, we want to launch it in Excel. I'm going to click Enable Editing, and then I'm going to do the thing where I drag my windows side by side so I can have my instructions over here and my Excel over here. So this one says Wilson Home Entertainment Systems monitors cash flow at their individual locations separately and consolidates the data. After the summary is complete, you insert hyperlinks to each of the supporting worksheets. So we've done step one. So step two wants us to group all of the worksheets. So we've got cash flow selected here. We're going to hold down the shift key on our keyboard, click on Rockford, and you can see they change colors here indicating they're all grouped together. Step three wants us to edit and format those grouped sheets. So it says to select cells A1 through B2. So we're going to grab A1 over to B and down to 2. Wants us to click the launcher in the alignment group of the Home tab. It's going to be this little guy right here. And then in the horizontal, it wants us to choose Center Across Selection. Not just center, but Center Across Selection. Center would center it inside those cells. We want it to be centered across A and B. Okay, we're going to say OK. And now those are centered across columns A and B. Then it wants us to click the launcher in the Page Setup group on the Page Layout tab. So we're going to go to the Page Layout tab up here. We're going to go to the Page Setup group and click the launcher in the lower right corner. And then it wants us to go to the Margins tab. On the Margins tabs, it wants us to center it on the page horizontally. Do that. Then it wants us to, we're going to click OK. Then it wants us to edit the contents of cell A10. So I'm going to find A and go down to 10. And instead of cash paid for promotion, it wants us to change it to cash paid for marketing. So I'm just going to go to my formula bar up here, get rid of the word promotion, replace it with marketing. Then it says select cell A1 and ungroup the sheets. So to ungroup the sheets, we're going to go down here. We're going to right click and just say ungroup sheets. And I didn't show previously, but this is centered now on all the worksheets, and that changed for marketing in cell A10. It's changed on all the different worksheets here. Okay, step 4, select the cash flow sheet if not already selected. Step 5 wants us to build a static data consolidation for the cash flow from, build a static data consolidation for the cash flow from operations section. Sorry, I really stumbled over my words there. So we want to select cells B4 through B12. So we go to the middle with the big plus and go down to 12. We're not doing 13. We're going to put a formula in here. And then it wants us to use the sum function to consolidate the data from the 3 location sheet without links. So we've selected B4 through B12. And then we want to use the sum consolidation. So we're going to go over to our data tab. We're going to go into our data tools and we're going to find the consolidate button. We click on consolidate. For the reference, it wants us to use the sum function. So we're going to leave that as sum. For the reference, we want to go to the Peoria sheet. We want to get B4 through B12. Click add. We do not want the link, so we're going to leave that blank. Then we're going to go to the Champagne sheet. Has the same cell range there. We're going to click add. We're going to go to the Rockford sheet and click add. We're going to say OK. This takes us back to the cash flow sheet, and you can see now our data is populated. Step 6 wants us to build a static data consolidation for the cash flow from banking and investment section in cells B15 through B21. It says delete the references in the consolidate dialog box, use sum as the function. So same thing, we're going to go find that consolidate button again. But this time when we start, we got to go down here to references, click delete, delete, delete. It remembers our references from the last data consolidation. We want the new one. So then we're going to go down to the Peoria sheet. Oops, I'm sorry. I'm going to click in the reference box first to get my cursor up here in the reference box. Then I'm going to go to the Peoria sheet, select B15 through B21, click add. Champagne sheet, click add. Rockford sheet, click add, say OK. Again, it takes me back to the cash flow sheet, and I can see I'm consolidated there. Same thing, then we just want the cash balance at the beginning of each quarter with the B24. So we're going to go to B24. Same thing. Go to our consolidate. First thing we want to do is delete all these guys. We're going to click in the reference box. go over to the Peoria, click on B21, add it, go to Champaign. I'm sorry, click on B24, not B21. Oh, I didn't click over to Champaign. Add it, Rockford, add it, okay. There's my total. Okay. So, and I can go down, and if I want, go down to the bottom and look at my cheat sheet, and not quite done yet. If we change some values, maybe. I can't tell if that's 113, 564. Looks like my number here and here matches. That means I'm kind of on the right track. Okay, so we're going to go back to the cash flow sheet. We're going to click on cell A1. Hit delete on your keyboard. Then we want to click on cell D2. So we're going to go over. Grid lines are off on this one. So we want to go to D2. It'll say D2 up here once you've got it. We want to click the Pictures button on the Insert tab in the Illustrations group. So Insert, Illustrations is collapsed. So click to expand it, then click Pictures. And we want to choose from this device. And then it's probably going to take you to your Pictures folder. You're going to want to go to your Downloads folder. And you're going to want to find this WHES PNG that we downloaded and pop it in there. Catch up on my steps over here. It says it's placed in as a default size. So it wants us to click the height box. Now that we have a picture selection, we have the Picture Tools Format tab. And it wants us to change the height from 2.2 to 1.2. So as I reduce that, it keeps the same aspect ratio, so it reduces the width automatically. Then it wants me to format the height of row 1 to 88.2 or 86.25. So I'm going to go over to row 1, put my cursor on the row heading so I get the right arrow. Right click to open a context menu. We're going to go down to row height, type in 86.25, hit enter, makes it way bigger. Then we want to point to the logo frame. I'm going to single click to select it to get a move pointer. That's these 4 arrows. Not one of the resize handles where you get the directional, but just on a blank order of the frame. You can then hold down the mouse pointer, and just drag that thing around. And it just wants you to bring it over so it's in A1, centered over our worksheet here. Then it wants us to click D2 again to deselect the image so we can see what it looks like. Okay. Step 9. We're going to insert and copy hyperlinks. So we want to go to the Peoria worksheet and click on cell C3. It's kind of out here in the middle of nowhere. It wants us to create a hyperlink that displays total cash flow and switches to cell A1 on the cash flow sheet. So we're inserting a hyperlink. So we're going to go to the Insert tab, and we are going to look for links. And then it gives you all your links. We want to go down to the bottom to Insert Link. Click on Insert Link. And by default, most people go to web pages, but we want to go to another place in this document. So we're going to click on Place. And then it wants to know the cell reference. And it tells us it wants to switch to cell A1 on the cash flow sheet. So the text to display, first thing we want to do is type in that red text, total cash flow. And the cell reference, we want to be cash flow, cell A1. Okay? Let's click on it. Whoop. Sorry, I got a Outlook reminder. Let me dismiss that. And there is my link. Seems like it works. I'm going to go ahead and click on it. And it takes me back to cell A1 on the cash flow sheet. So then we want to right click on cell C3. And we want to go down to copy. Then we want to go to the Champaign sheet. Paste it into cell C3. And then select the Peoria sheet. Oh, Rockford sheet, I'm sorry. And paste it in here as well. Then we want to select the Peoria sheet. I kind of got mixed up on the directions. It says press escape to remove the copy marquee if it's still visible. Mine is not. But if you have this little kind of a spinny dotted box there, just hit escape on your keyboard. And then select cell C5. And then click the cell with the hyperlink to test it. Click. We already tested it because I'm that guy, but it takes us back to A1. If I go over to the Rockford sheet, do the same thing. It takes us back to cell A1. So we are good. Let's save it. Close it. See how we did here. And it looks like we are in business. Good luck with your projects. Have a great day.